Hi everyone and welcome back to the Average Gamer channel. My name's AP and we are back with our final episode of Can We Get Nico on the Podium. If you missed episode 4, here come the highlights. And the fifth and final round of the Asia Pacific Series takes us to Abu Dhabi. Now if you're joining us for the first time today, we're doing 5-lap races and the grids are completely random in this series. So let's find out where Nico Hulkenberg is on the grid today. And here we go. So Gasly, Perez, Kimi Raikkonen, George Russell, good old Williams tractor in 4th place, Magnussen and Grosjean, hopefully they'll take each other out, Charles Leclerc, Bottas, Hamilton, Kubica, oh this isn't looking good for Nico Hulkenberg, Ricciardo 14th, Nico Hulkenberg 16th on the grid. So tough ask to get on the podium today, but stick with me, it's going to be a high action race. And so we go down to the grid, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we're off for the final race of the Asia Pacific Series, and the start looks fairly even at the moment. Sainz is ahead of us. We're going to dive down the inside at turn 1. We're going to try not to make contact with our teammate, but we've got to be aggressive and make a little bit of contact. We don't take each other out. Aggressive again into turn 2, a little bit of contact, force our teammate wide, but we get 14th place. Next up, Kvyat, and it looks like Sainz as well, and we're diving down the inside, and we've got a few places there. Kubica's on the inside being aggressive, trying to keep his position. And as we come into the hairpin, we've taken 10th place off Kubica. First time through the hairpin, first time onto the DRS straight. Grosjean's in front of us, we've got a good run, we've got rich fuel setting selected. We are up the inside of Grosjean. Can we get the pass done before the chicanes? Yes, we can. Here we go, breaking into the chicanes. Bottas has been held up, but as everyone else has, by George Russell. Bottas forces us wide, but we get a better run out of the second part of the chicane. We're challenging Bottas. He's had a poor run. Have we got the straight line speed with rich fuel setting to get past him? It appears that we have. Into the chicanes again, and everyone is being held up by George Russell. Everyone is being held up. Their races are being ruined by him. It's letting the leaders get away. We've got to take advantage of this now, whilst George Russell is still in the way, and before everyone starts getting past him on the straights. So as we come into the last part of Sector 3 on lap 1, we're very close to Leclerc in front of us. We're just trying to keep a nice tidy line, make sure that we don't lose too much downforce going through the corners. Russell's still holding everyone up. You can see the long train in front of us. We go wide at the penultimate corner, which doesn't help our case. Through the final corner, and we're about to start lap 2. Pierre Gasly goes fastest. Obviously he goes fastest, he was in pole position. Can we get close to Leclerc on lap 2? Russell is causing all sorts of problems at the front. We can be less aggressive at this point in the race because we've got nothing to play for at the moment. Here we go. We're getting closer now to Leclerc. Can we have a dive up the inside of the chicanes? We're going for the dive up the inside. We've taken Leclerc, but he's fighting back on the outside. Now he's on the inside of us. We've kept our position around the outside of the chicane, and we've got past him. Round the hairpin, we've got Hamilton in front of us now, that fast Mercedes, but again, he's held up. We can take advantage of this. If we can get close to him, we might be able to get close to him under braking into the chicane, because Russell's going to brake heavy and early because of the Williams. Here we go. Diving up the inside, we're going to have a go at both Hamilton and Magnussen. Magnussen's being aggressive, there's no love lost between Hulkenberg and Magnussen, but we've managed to make the move stick on Hamilton. Now we're chasing Magnussen down. Hamilton's coming back on the outside, got to try and hold him off. Can we brake a bit later than him into the chicanes? We brake late, we stay tight, we make contact with Magnussen because he's driving in the middle of the road. Hamilton is still fighting back against us, but we seem to have got 6th place off Hamilton now. As a battle. Right, here we go into the final part of Sector 3. Got Magnussen ahead of us, and there's Russell. It seems a lot of the cars have got past George Russell now, so we've got to get past Magnussen as quick as we can, clear Russell as quick as we can, and then start chasing down Gasly, Raikkonen and Perez, who are the top 3. As we come round into the final corner of lap 2, ready to start lap 3, Gasly goes fastest again, and we're chasing Kevin Magnussen down. We're 3 places off a podium position at the moment. Can we get Nico Hulkenberg there? Stick with me, this race is incredibly close. I think it's going to come down right down to the last lap. Here we go through the sweeping right-hand turn. Magnussen's ahead of us. Hamilton's having a look behind us in the much faster Mercedes. Go defensive into the chicane to make sure Hamilton can't pass us. We cover any line he could take. We've managed to hold him off in the complex. Around the hairpin. DRS is going to be wide open this time. So here we go, over the DRS line. DRS is wide open on Magnussen, wide open on Hulkenberg's car. The Williams is going as slow as a caterpillar there. Easy pass for Magnussen, easy pass for Hulkenberg. Diving up the inside, Magnussen locks up, that's going to block Russell. Magnussen's still being tasty on trying to stop us overtaking him. We've got a terrible line out of the second part of the chicane, and we've got DRS and he hasn't. So let's see if we can get past him now. This should be a piece of cake. And Hulkenberg is past Magnussen and we're in 4th place. Right, the chase is on now. Can we get to Perez and can we get to Raikkonen? They look quite evenly matched. Maybe they'll start fighting soon and we can actually overtake them and get Nico on the podium and answer the question we've been trying to answer for five episodes of this mini-series. Can we get Nico on the podium? Well, here we go. A lap and a half to get him there. Magnussen's still behind us as we come to the end of the 3rd lap. Perez and Raikkonen look like they're about to start having a bit of a fight. Gasly goes fastest again, and Perez is now the fastest man on the track. We go purple in sector 3 because we've finally got a bit of clear air in front of us. Now we're finally free of all the other cars, we can start really pushing hard and try and get closer to these guys and actually get our car working well with the setup we've got for this race. Into the complex section, late on the brakes, down to 3, down to 2 for the second part of the chicane, up to 3rd, down to 2nd for the left-hand hairpin. We're on the DRS straight again. We are too far behind Perez to get DRS this time, but Magnussen might be a threat, but it looks like on the track map Magnussen's got his own problems with Hamilton. Here comes the pass and Hamilton's up to 5th. We've now got a problem. We've got a very fast Mercedes behind us, driven by a 7 times world champion. 6 times world champion, sorry. 2020 hasn't happened yet. And we've got a terrible run through the chicane. Can we fend off Hamilton? Can we use Hamilton as motivation to get closest to Raikkonen? It looks like Raikkonen and Perez have started fighting for position now, so we've got to use this time wisely to get closer to them and get Nico on the podium. We can see the 3 leaders. We can see Gasly at the front, Perez in 2nd and Raikkonen in 3rd. Bit of a gap. We need to check the gap on the start-finish line to see how far behind Raikkonen we are and how much we've got to catch up on the last lap. Here we go under the Rolex bridge, round into the final section of the lap. Hamilton behind us, remember. We've got 1 lap to get Nico on the podium and see if we can get him a hat-trick of podiums in the Asia Pacific Series. Sergio Perez does the fastest lap of the race, followed by Lewis Hamilton setting a fast lap, and we've got to watch him this lap. He could really challenge us for 4th place while we're trying to chase Raikkonen for 3rd. We've got a midfield battle for the top three positions. That's brilliant. That's so good. It's so great to see midfield teams at the front, not Mercedes, Red Bull and Ferrari. Okay, left-hand hairpin. Here we go. I don't think we're close enough for DRS, but Hamilton's probably close enough to us to get a DRS run. We're going to turn the engine up to rich. We're going to have to be really careful down this straight and really aggressive into the braking zone for the chicanes to make sure Hamilton doesn't get a look at us. Perez and Raikkonen are having a go at each other. We can get a bit closer because they're battling. Raikkonen's going for 2nd place. Perez is fighting him off. Perez holds 2nd place at the moment. Raikkonen's right behind him though. Raikkonen's going to get DRS in a minute and surely going to take the overtake on Perez. We've got Hamilton to worry about and he's very close behind us. He's looking for a position to overtake. We brake late into the chicanes. We managed to keep the car on the racing line. We're through the chicanes. We're getting ever closer to Perez and Raikkonen. Can we get Nico on the podium in the last 3 or 4 turns of this lap? Perez and Raikkonen have been fighting for a lap. They're much slower than us now. We're closing the gap still on Perez. We've got 3 to 4 turns left. We're getting ever closer. Can we get this overtake done? Here we go, 2 turns left. We're going to dive up. Oh, we braked too late. And I think that's our chance gone. And here we go, we've got close. We've shrunk the gap, but it kind of finishes off the series in the right way, really. Nico Hulkenberg agonisingly missing out on a podium. as tends to be standard. And that's it. That's the series. Thanks for riding on board with me for episode 5 of Can We Get Nico on the Podium. If this is your first time watching the series, the other episodes are popping up on the left hand side of the screen now. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to click the like button, and if you check out some other content on my channel and enjoy that, please remember to subscribe so you see more F1 2019 content. My name's AP, and I'll see you soon.